Last week, the FAA added more temporary drone bans in New York and New Jersey as officials continue to investigate these mysterious sightings.
An eerie UFO drone image just unleashed a frenzy over New Jersey, and the shockwaves are only spreading. A gleaming metallic craft, unmistakably alien-like, crashed into a tree, leaving behind bark bits and jagged edges. But no burns or dents, defying all logic. Witnesses say it's not just a drone, it's something extraordinary, something beyond our grasp. Now, reports are flooding in of silent silver crafts zigzagging across the skies of neighboring states, vanishing in the blink of an eye. Tune in for a truth so shocking it could destroy everything we believed. Sightings surge, mystery deepens. Sarah's post blew up naturally. Suddenly, amateur UFO hunters and even some pros were dissecting the image pixel by pixel. Believers pointed to the circular hole, saying it's probably some next-level propulsion system, anti-gravity, electromagnetic, or who knows what. Others were like, nope, this is just a weird drone someone souped up. When was the last time you saw a hobby drone with a design straight out of a sci-fi movie? But here's the kicker. The image's metadata held a detail no one can explain. Here's where it gets spicier. More of these UFO drones started popping up. People across New Jersey and nearby states like Pennsylvania and New York began reporting similar sightings. Silent silver oval crafts floating in the sky, pulling off moves that would make fighter jets jealous. And they weren't just hanging out, they'd zip away faster than you could blink. Videos and photos started flooding TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. One thing was consistent, these crafts had that bizarre circular hole. Folks were speculating, hard. Some said it's military tech. Others swore it was aliens. The skeptics? They claimed it was all a hoax or experimental drones being tested in plain sight. Social media kept the story alive. Hashtags trended, influencers weighed in, and everyone had an opinion. Some shared videos, others dissected flight patterns, and a few tried to debunk the whole thing. But with no solid answers, the mystery only grew. The military? Silent. The government? Nada. Public curiosity? Through the roof. For one, these sightings weren't random. They happened repeatedly across multiple states and often involved multiple drones at once. People captured videos of entire fleets, silent, glowing, and moving in perfect sync. That kind of coordination suggests intent, not some drunk guy with a remote control. If these are human-made, someone's holding out on us. If they're not, well, that opens up a whole other can of worms. Are they here to watch us, help us, or something else entirely? Theories about distractions and cover-ups have also gained traction. Maybe all this UFO buzz is just misdirection while something bigger happens behind the scenes. They're demanding transparency from the government, the military, anyone who might know something. But the silence so far has only added fuel to the fire. And until someone comes forward with solid proof, this mystery is here to stay. Whether it's experimental tech, foreign spies, or something truly out of this world, these UFO drones have us all looking up, wondering what's really out there. In Pennsylvania, a group of hikers claimed they spotted one of these UFO drones in a forested area. They described it as completely silent, hovering just above the treetops before accelerating straight up into the sky at an impossible speed. They captured blurry footage, but even with the low resolution, the circular void was unmistakable. The internet's reaction was split. Believers cited it as more proof, while skeptics called it fake. Military chatter began seeping into the discussion. Leaked reports hinted that radar systems had picked up these objects, but their flight paths defied explanation. Unlike commercial drones or planes, these crafts could hover motionless, then accelerate at speeds that traditional radar struggled to track. Military officials allegedly expressed frustration and confusion, with some admitting that these objects didn't match any known technology. One baffling encounter involved a farmer in rural New Jersey. He reported that one of these UFO drones hovered over his property for nearly 10 minutes. He tried to capture video but claimed his phone malfunctioned every time he aimed it at the craft. When it finally sped away, his livestock seemed agitated, a detail that added an eerie element to the story. Animal behavior experts weighed in, suggesting that the craft's silent operation might emit frequencies unsettling to animals. Theories continued swirling. Some suggested these drones were reconnaissance tools from foreign adversaries designed to test U.S. defenses or gather intelligence. This raised alarm bells about national security. If a foreign power had this level of technology, it would signify a massive gap in current defense capabilities. Others speculated these objects could be part of a private tech company's secret project, although the risks of public exposure made that theory less convincing. The extraterrestrial hypothesis remained the most popular among online communities. Proponents pointed to the advanced capabilities of the drones, their silence, speed, and maneuverability as evidence that they weren't of human origin. They argued that the circular hole might be a form of alien engineering serving purposes beyond human understanding. The fact that these sightings occurred so frequently and over a wide area only fueled the speculation. Some experts tried to approach the phenomenon scientifically. Aerodynamic specialists noted that the craft's movements contradicted conventional flight principles. The ability to hover without visible means of propulsion suggested an entirely new form of technology, possibly electromagnetic or anti-gravity systems. Theories about energy-efficient propulsion systems were floated, but none could fully explain the drone's observed behavior. A strange photo from New Jersey quickly sparked debates and endless questions about what it could mean. UFOs monitoring energy hubs. As more videos and photos surfaced, the discussion reached mainstream media outlets. News anchors debated the possibilities, with some leaning toward the government cover-up narrative. Others invited UFO experts and skeptics to share their perspectives. The public's curiosity only grew as officials remained tight-lipped, refusing to confirm or deny the existence of these crafts. One journalist uncovered an interesting detail. Several sightings occurred near military installations. This led to speculation that these drones were experimental military projects. However, the lack of admission from defense departments raised doubts. Why test advanced technology in such visible locations? The risk of public exposure seemed counterproductive, leading many to dismiss the theory. The sightings also sparked fear among some communities. Residents reported feeling uneasy, describing the drones as ominous and invasive. A few conspiracy theories suggested that these crafts were tools for mass surveillance, capable of gathering data on a large scale. The idea of constant monitoring added a layer of paranoia, particularly as privacy concerns continued to dominate public discourse. Despite the fear, fascination with the mystery prevailed. Online forums dedicated to UFO sightings saw record engagement. Enthusiasts dissected every frame of every video, searching for clues. Some noticed patterns in the sightings, such as their proximity to power plants or large bodies of water. This fueled theories about the drone's potential purpose, ranging from energy harvesting to environmental monitoring. Another intriguing detail was the absence of any exhaust trails or emissions. Traditional drones and aircraft rely on fuel or battery power, both of which leave detectable traces. These crafts appeared to operate without any visible power source, further suggesting advanced technology. This led some to wonder if the drones harnessed renewable energy or tapped into atmospheric resources. As time went on, the frequency of sightings began to decline. This only deepened the intrigue. Were the drones recalled by their creators? Did the increased public scrutiny scare off whoever was operating them? Or had their mission, whatever it was, been completed? The lack of answers left a void that conspiracy theorists were all too eager to fill. Despite the lull in activity, the phenomenon left a lasting impact. People continued to share their experiences and theories, keeping the discussion alive. Skeptics remained unconvinced, but even they couldn't deny the compelling nature of the evidence. For believers, the UFO drones represented a glimpse into the unknown, a tantalizing hint at technology and possibilities beyond human comprehension. Whether these crafts were human-made, extraterrestrial, or something else entirely, their presence challenged our understanding of technology and sparked a conversation that refused to fade. The UFO drones of New Jersey became a modern legend, a story that blended science, mystery, and imagination in a way that captivated millions. Until concrete answers emerge, the skies will remain a place of wonder and speculation. Someone just dropped a wild image of what they're calling a UFO drone over New Jersey. You're scrolling through your feed, half paying attention, and then bam. A sleek, otherworldly object floating against the sky, looking like it belongs in a sci-fi movie. But this isn't a Hollywood prop, it's allegedly the real deal. Here's where things get weirder. UFO sightings near critical energy infrastructures are not new. For decades, reports of unidentified flying objects buzzing around nuclear power plants, electrical grids, and high-voltage lines have surfaced all over the world. It's like they're drawn to these spots, raising eyebrows and stirring conspiracy theories. Think back to the Hudson Valley in New York during the 1980s. People kept spotting these massive, silent, triangular crafts with glowing lights hanging out near the Indian Point nuclear plant. They didn't just hover aimlessly, they moved with precision, pulling off sharp turns and stops that no human tech could handle at the time. And after all those reports and investigations, and it's not just the United States, cross the ocean to 1990s England, where the Hartlepool nuclear station had its own strange visitor. People reported seeing an eerie object floating near the plant, moving as if it had a purpose. Officials tried the usual excuses, reflections, weather balloons, or even mass hysteria. But nothing fit. Even the investigating officer admitted the thing seemed to be on some kind of mission, almost like it was scouting the area. Fast forward to India in the 2000s and the plot thickens. A police officer near the Kudankulam nuclear plant reported seeing something bizarre zigzagging through the air before vanishing faster than a blink. Over a dozen sightings occurred in that area, yet no one could determine what was happening. These incidents aren't just isolated blips on the radar, they're part of a global pattern. Then there's the camp that screams, "It's not aliens, it's us." Advanced tech, secret projects, shadowy government programs. Sure, maybe. But testing ultra-classified tech near vital energy hubs? That's playing with fire, not to mention public scrutiny. If it's all human-made, where's the accountability? Why the silence? People aren't just going to shrug off lights in the sky when it's happening above nuclear reactors. Let's not forget the possibility that these UFOs are somehow leaching energy. Some theorists suggest they're not just observing, but actively drawing power from our grids. Sounds nuts, but if they're using tech we can't even comprehend, who's to say they're not? One guy in Jersey swore he saw a UFO hovering over his farm for 10 minutes. Every time he tried snapping a pic, his phone glitched out. When the thing zoomed off, his animals were losing their minds, like they'd picked up on something way beyond human senses. And the silence. No noise, no smoke trails, no exhaust. These crafts seem to run on energy sources that don't play by our rules. Some think it's electromagnetic propulsion or anti-gravity tech. Whatever it is, it's leaps ahead of anything we've got. That's where the paranoia kicks in. If it's foreign tech, why are our defenses so clueless? And if it's extraterrestrial, well, buckle up. More sightings near energy sites raised concerns about their purpose and potential impact. A connection we can't ignore. Governments aren't helping. For every sighting, there's a report of some military unit swooping in, poking around, and then leaving everyone in the dark. No explanations, no transparency. Just the occasional grainy footage hitting social media, sparking a new round of debates. Skeptics love to say it's all drones or natural phenomena. Sure, some cases are probably just that, but then there are the ones with multiple witnesses, high-quality images, and maneuvers that break the laws of physics. Try explaining those away. This isn't just about spotting shiny things in the sky, it's about what these sightings mean for us. National security, technological gaps, the big existential question of whether we're alone in the universe, all of it comes crashing down when you see that grainy image of a UFO over New Jersey. These sightings aren't going anywhere. And until someone comes clean, they're going to keep us staring at the skies, wondering what's out there. But let's take a closer look at these hotspots. The Hudson Valley, for example, wasn't just home to a few reports, it was ground zero for what some call the Hudson Valley Wave, a series of UFO sightings spanning years. Thousands of people reported seeing these triangular crafts. Imagine driving home from work, looking out your window and seeing a silent glowing triangle the size of a football field drifting above the treetops. That's the kind of story locals would swap over dinner, each tale adding another layer to the mystery. The same goes for the incidents near Hartlepool. Witnesses there didn't just describe lights in the sky, they talked about a craft that seemed deliberate, almost methodical in its movements. It wasn't just passing through, it was lingering, scanning, and maybe even interacting with its surroundings. These are not the hallmarks of random phenomena, they're calculated actions, leaving everyone who sees them with more questions than answers. And then there's the question of how these objects manage to stay hidden. If they're so advanced, wouldn't they have cloaking tech? Or are they letting themselves be seen on purpose as if to send a message? Theories abound, ranging from interdimensional travel to extraterrestrial surveillance, but every answer spawns new puzzles. The idea of energy extraction is particularly unsettling. If these crafts are tapping into our power systems, what does that say about their capabilities? Could they shut down a grid entirely, plunging cities into darkness? Or are they studying our systems to replicate them elsewhere? The possibilities are endless, and none of them are particularly comforting. One particularly unnerving theory is that these sightings are increasing because of something we're doing. Maybe our advancements in technology or energy production are drawing them closer. Or perhaps it's the opposite, a warning sign that we're treading dangerous ground. Either way, the implications are enormous. Consider the global implications. If these objects are extraterrestrial, their presence near critical infrastructure could be seen as a kind of reconnaissance. They're not just watching, they're learning. And if they're learning, what's their endgame? Collaboration, intervention, or something more ominous? And yet, despite all this, the official narrative remains frustratingly vague. Governments issue brief statements, often downplaying the incidents. Scientists and researchers are left to fill in the gaps, piecing together fragmented data and eyewitness accounts. It's like trying to solve a puzzle with half the pieces missing, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Meanwhile, the public is left in the dark. Social media buzzes with speculation, but without solid information, the line between fact and fiction blurs. Every new video, every new photo adds fuel to the fire, but it also raises the risk of misinformation. In the absence of transparency, theories multiply, each more elaborate than the last. Some experts argue that this lack of clarity is intentional. By keeping the public guessing, authorities can control the narrative. But this strategy has its drawbacks. The more people feel like they're being kept in the dark, the more they'll push back. And with technology making it easier than ever to capture and share evidence, the truth might just be impossible to contain forever. With every unanswered question, one thing becomes clear: we're just scratching the surface. The truth might be out there, but getting to it will require more than just speculation. It will take transparency, investigation, and a willingness to confront the unknown. Until then, keep looking up. The next big sighting could be just around the corner, and who knows? It might finally be the one that gives us the answers we've been waiting for. Consider, for instance, the implications of contact. If these UFOs are indeed from another world, what does that say about humanity's readiness for such an encounter? Are we prepared to communicate, to coexist, or even to defend ourselves if necessary? These questions aren't just theoretical, they're critical to understanding the role of Earth in the cosmic community. Every sighting, every unexplained phenomenon brings us a step closer to confronting these monumental challenges. Moreover, the rise of private space exploration companies adds another layer to the discussion. As humanity inches closer to becoming a multiplanetary species, the stakes for understanding potential extraterrestrial interactions grow exponentially. What if these UFOs are observing not just our energy systems, but also our ambitions to expand beyond Earth? Could their interest in energy infrastructures be linked to our growing use of these systems for space exploration? The connections are tantalizing, if speculative, and demand a broader scope of investigation. The conversation also touches on the environmental aspect. If UFOs are indeed engaging with Earth's energy resources, it raises questions about sustainability and the global energy crisis. Could these sightings serve as a wake-up call to rethink how we harness and distribute energy? While it's a stretch to imagine extraterrestrials intervening to guide humanity toward better energy practices, the symbolism isn't lost. These mysterious encounters force us to confront the fragility of our systems and the need for innovation. As this ongoing saga unfolds, the need for collaboration between nations becomes increasingly evident. UFO sightings are not confined to any single country or region, they're a global phenomenon. Addressing them requires a unified approach, bringing together governments, scientists, and even the private sector to pool resources and share insights. Transparency and cooperation could pave the way for breakthroughs, not just in understanding UFOs, but in fostering a sense of shared purpose among humanity. What if these UFO drones aren't just watching us, but sending a message we haven't decoded? Let us know what you think below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more mysteries.